right now at noon. The polls are open and voters are making their voices heard.
Power to change this country is in your hands.
We're going to make history once again.
More than 100 million ballots already cast across the country. Here in Arizona, some lines across town, but so far it's been smooth sailing.
I think I was only in line for maybe about 5 minutes and about 5 to 10 minutes inside.
They say it's so important to make their voices heard.
For me, it's just really important I do my part to represent others and not just be a bystander, making sure I'm actively involved.
Welcome to our newscast here at noon. I'm Kylie Cruz. Polls close in Arizona in less than 7 hours. And we should get the first returns at 8 o'clock tonight. So far, more than 75,000 people in Maricopa County voted in person today. We want to show you some live pictures right now of our AZ family chopper. These are over some polling lines at the Surprise City Hall. As you can see, a good group of people lined up outside to cast their ballot. There on your side, Susan Campbell is joining us now with more from the Maricopa County Elections Department.
So as you know, it's been a record-shattering early voter turnout. Right now, we're inside the Maricopa County Elections Department where they're counting ballots. I want you to take a look. You can see some of the action inside. Joining me right now, Erica Flores from the Elections Department. Tell me a little bit, first of all, about what's going on here. How long does this process take?
So you can see the early ballots that are being counted, and all of this equipment, it is connected with these cables straight to the server, and so that's where results are stored until tonight at 8 p.m. We will start releasing those unofficial early results, and those are from all of the early ballots that we've been able to count up to now.
And we know that there are a lot of people who are voting in person today. We've seen some lines around the valley. Is there a way for people to avoid the lines?
So voters can plan ahead. They can go to locations.maricopa.vote or beballotready.vote can take them to that link where they'll be able to see wait times. They'll see how many people are in line, and they are vote anywhere sites. So voters do not have to go to the one vote center that is near their home. They can go to any of these locations. So if they see one location that has too much of a line, they can find another one just a couple miles away.
Perfect. Erica, thank you so much for your time. As she just mentioned, voters can go anywhere. There's no assigned polling location. So check out the lines. You can go and make this a super easy process for yourself. We'll put the links on our website, azfamily.com.
Thank you, Susan, for that. A lot of plans are in place to make sure that people have a safe voting experience. Ernie is joining us now with more on voter security.
We're outside All Saints Lutheran Church here in Phoenix, where throughout the morning there has been a steady line of people heading up those steps into the polls to cast their ballots. But right now the focus is really on the safety of people inside these polling places, but also in the community on this election day. Right now, both the Sheriff's Office and DPS have plans in place to increase security. Maricopa County tells us they have trained their poll workers in what they call de-escalation techniques. And if more assistance is needed, deputies in plainclothes and unmarked cars will be nearby. A Phoenix Police Department says it's not aware of any protests or any events planned following the election, but we do know that the National Guard and other law enforcement agencies are on standby. And here's what Governor Ducey had to say about the possibility of unrest due to the election.
It's our hope and expectation that there will not be civil unrest, that we'll have a peaceful outcome. And while it may take some time to figure out exactly where all the chips fall, that would be the expectation. But can I finish? But the National Guard is always at the ready.
Scottsdale police tell me that they are actually prepared to respond to any demonstrations or any possible unrest that not only happens today on election day, but throughout what they are calling this election week. So right now, the impact of this election expected to be felt not only today, but in days following. Reporting in Phoenix, I'm Ernie LeBeau for Arizona's Family.
Thank you, Ernie. 12:05 new here at noon. We just spoke to Cindy McCain, the wife of late John McCain. McCain has endorsed Biden for president, but says she will remain a Republican.
What I've seen coming out of this White House does not represent, I believe, doesn't represent Republicans or the United States of America very well. There's been no empathy, no compassion, no character, no integrity, a lack of values, all these kinds of things that make up a really good leader are non-existent in this White House.
McCain calls Biden a person of great character, great honor, and great courage. Arizona's Senate race could decide the balance of power in the Senate. And polls have shown that former astronaut Mark Kelly is leading Senator Martha McSally for weeks. Kelly, though, says he's not taking anything for granted.
The only poll that matters, and I've been saying this for a year and a half, is the one on Election Day. I mean, that's the critical, thing. And that at this point, that it is Election Day, we just need folks to get out and vote. I've always thought that this is going to be a tight election, and I'm convinced it is today.
And after that interview, we talked to his opponent, Senator Martha McSally, about how she's feeling. She says it's all going to come down to who goes to the polls and who doesn't. She's encouraging folks to get out there and vote.
But it's all about the turnout. It's not about the polls. It's about everybody getting with your friends and neighbors and your coworkers and everyone in your family and have your voice heard today. Vote for freedom.
Another key race we are watching is in the Northeast Valley. That's where incumbent David Schweiker is facing a tough challenge from Dr. Harold Tipernini. The incumbent Schweiker got into hot water earlier this year for violating campaign finance laws. He admitted to ethics violations and had to pay a $50,000 fine. It's created an opening for Tipernini, who calls into question his character, but she said the bigger issue is the mishandling of the coronavirus.
If we had used data and listened to the public health experts and the epidemiologists from day one, we would be in a very different place right now, not just nationally, but specifically here in Arizona. And that's part of the abject failure of leadership, is that they haven't used data. They haven't let the science guide them. So, I mean, look, my skill set has always been there, but I think it's more important now than ever to have leaders who will lead with science, with data, with facts and truth, and not let partisanship make the decisions.
Tipernini stressed the importance of protecting pre-existing conditions, especially with the pandemic still hampering our state. The congressman, meanwhile, says his top issues are border security and keeping business taxes low. We tried to interview Congressman Schweiker today, but he declined that request. And voters will also choose the next Maricopa County attorney. The race between Alistair Adele and Julie Gunnigal. It's another close one, according to the polls. And Gunnigal says a key focus of her campaign is what she calls common sense reforms to the criminal justice system. Gunnigal stood with the family of Dion Johnson when her rival, Alistair Adele, decided not to prosecute the state trooper who killed him. She says it was a political move. We asked Gunnigal what she thinks is wrong with Arizona's judicial system and why voters should choose her.
So if folks are undecided and they believe that we need to have intelligent cannabis reform at our county attorney's office, if they believe that this office needs to stay out of their doctor's offices and their bedrooms, if they believe that we need to actually hold everyone to the same standards as equal justice under the law, and that includes police, then I want them taking a hard look at my platform, because that's why we're here and that's why we're running.
Current county attorney Alistair Adele has the endorsement of PLEA, the Phoenix Police Union, and she's also received credit for tackling some tough issues, including use of force cases. But recently, she's also come under fire for going after organizers of recent protests with gang charges. Adele was not available to join us this morning.